Yesterday, we lost a directing legend, Richard Donner, who was best known for directing films such as The Omen, Superman, which I've already reviewed, the Lethal Weapon series, which that's to come up later on next year, lots of other movies, and this film, which I unfortunately forgot to review last year for its anniversary. So, in memory of Richard Donner, let's talk about The Goonies. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name's Doyle, better known to as the Big D. So, though the next video I was going to bring was to be the comeback of 007, but that's now been pushed back to tomorrow due to this special review coming up. And it's in memory of Richard Donner, whom we sadly lost yesterday on July 5th at the age of 91. Now, since I've reviewed Superman The Omen already, but Lethal Weapons not until next year, I've decided to make up for lost time and review this film I had forgotten to review last June, and it's The Goonies from 1985, released by Warner Brothers, along with Amblin Entertainment. This, of course, would be their second film after Gremlins the previous year. Based from a screenplay done by a screenplay by Chris Columbus and based on a story by executive producer Steven Spielberg. Of course, in the film, the kids who live in the Goondocks neighborhood of Astoria, Oregon, attempt to save their homes from foreclosure, and in doing so, they discover an old treasure map that takes them on an adventure to unearth the long-lost treasure of, well, not just treasure, but the fortune of One-Eyed Willie, a legendary 17th century pirate. During the adventure, they are chased by the Fratelli family, who want the treasure for themselves. Anyway, so here we go with our story. Facing foreclosure of their homes in the Goondocks area of Astoria, Oregon, to an expanding country club, a group of children who call themselves the Goonies gathers for a final weekend together. The Goonies include optimist lead Goonie Mikey Walsh, his older brother Brandon, the inventive Data, the talkative Mouth, and the overweight klutz Chunk. Rummaging through the Walsh's attic, they come across a 1632 doubloon and an old treasure map purporting to lead to the treasure of legendary pirate One-Eyed Willie, believed to be located somewhere nearby. Mikey considers One-Eyed Willie to be the original Goonie. The kids evade Brandon and make their way to an abandoned restaurant on the coast that coincides with the map. Brandon soon falls alongside Andy, a cheerleader with a crush on him, and Steph, Andy's friend. The group quickly discovers the rest the I apologize for mispronouncing it. Restaurant is a hideout of the Fratelli crime family, Francis, Jake, and their mother, known as Mama. The Goonies find a tunnel in the basement and follow it, but Chunk is abducted by the assailant and imprisoned with their hulking, deformed younger brother Sloth. The Fratellis interrogate Chunk until he reveals where the Goonies have gone and begin pursuit. Chunk is left behind with Sloth, but befriends him. After Sloth frees both of them, Chunk calls the sheriff and Sloth and he follow the Fratellis. The Goonies evade several deadly booby traps along the tunnels while staying ahead of the Fratellis. Finally, they reach the grotto where Willie's pirate ship, the Inferno, is anchored. The group discovers the ship is filled with treasure and they start filling their pockets. But Mikey warns them not to take any on a set of scales in front of Willie, considering that to be their tribute to him. As they leave the ship, the assailants appear and strip them of their loot, and they make the Goonies walk the plank until Chunk arrives with Sloth and distracts the Fratellis long enough for the Goonies to jump overboard. And the Fratellis proceed to grab all the treasure they can, including those of Willie's scales. This triggers another booby trap that causes the growl to cave in, which sloths help the Goonies and Fratellis barely escape. Alright, the ending, it's not much, but I'm just going to give it to you. But as always, you know the procedure. 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, please continue on. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Soon the two groups emerge on Astoria's beach where they reunite with the Goonies' families and the police. The Fratellis are arrested, but Chunk prevents Sloth from being taken also, and he invites Sloth to live with him, which he accepts. As the kids describe their adventure to their parents, the Walsh's housekeeper, Rosalia, discovers that Mikey's marble bag is filled with gems he took from the ship and had not been seized by the Fratellis. Mikey's father triumphantly rips up the foreclosure papers, declaring they have enough money to negate the foreclosure. And as the Goonies celebrate, they see the Inferno, having broken free of the grotto, sailing off on its own in the distance. In the story, my friends. So, what did I think of the Goonies? Well, I'm going to say it's a good movie. I had seen it before, I do believe, as a youngin', but I might be wrong though. But I have encountered it a few times though. The film would go on to be a success for Warner Bros. And Amblin, and has since become a cult film, as the film went on to make 124 million worldwide. And so far, it's mostly gotten some good response and what have you. And I really do enjoy it for its story and its great cast. Playing Mikey is Sean Astin. Playing Brandon, or Brand for short, is Josh Brolin. Playing Chunk is Jeff Cohen, who before this was one of the many children to be featured on the recent CBS game show Child's Play. Playing Mount is Corey Feldman, who recently appeared in Gremlins, and also appeared as young Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, the previous year, and had a brief cameo in A New Beginning, which came out that same year. Playing Data is Jonathan K. Hui Kwan, who recently played Short Round in Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom the previous year. Andy is played by Carrie Green. Steph is played by Martha Plimpton. And John Matsuzak, I think that's how you pronounce it, plays Sloth. As the rest of Fratellis, we have Anne Ramsey playing Mama Fratelli, Robert Davey as Jake, and Joe Pantoliano as Francis. Anyway, yeah. Actually, Richard Donner has a cameo as a sheriff's deputy, so if you watch closely, you might see him. But anyway, I gotta give him credit for doing another great movie and what have you, and with Spielberg's executive producing. Yep, and his story, which of course got done the screenplay by Chris Columbus, that was good too. It also had a pretty good soundtrack as well. Let me see. hmm Anyway, and the score was done by Dave Grusin. That was pretty good. But its soundtrack featured a lot of good stuff, which included songs by the Bangles, REO Speedwagon, and of course Cyndi Lauper, who of course did the populars The Goonies Are Good Enough. Which they actually did a video for this, which was like 12 minutes long. Yeah. Can you believe that? That's incredible. Which, of course, she has a cameo in the film performing that song on TV, although the song was not completed until after the filming. Anyway, the film did pretty well again, and of course, it got to be put into all sorts of other cool things, including video games. Yes, Soft actually put out a Goonies game for the Commodore 64, the Atari 8-bit Family System, and the Apple II that year, and it was later ported to the ZX Spectrum and Amstrad CPC by US Gold. The following year, Konami had created two versions of the Goonies for the MSX and the Family Computer System, alias the Nintendo Entertainment System. And that did well to give them a sequel to the Goonies 2, which unfortunately never had actually seen. We wished we had, but I'm afraid they've just been canceled and what have you. But even so, with a pretty good cast of characters, a great story, a great direction by the late great Richard Donner, and all that jazz, would I recommend the Goonies? Yes, I would. You better believe it. This is one fun-filled flick you can definitely not afford to miss out on. Oh, yep, nope. It's true. So anyway, it's really good. So, what are your thoughts on the Goonies? Please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned. Next time, I will really give you the Man with the Golden Gun review. Alright, as I continue the summer of 007. Promise. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like this, check out my reviews for these other two films that I've mentioned. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Superman from 1978, which Donner directed. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my recent review of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Or if you'd like, see my Wide World of Game Shows episode on Child's Play, which, of course, the guy who played Chunk himself, Jeff Cohen, is one of the children on there. Look that show up. You'll be surprised. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya, and rest in peace, Richard Donner. Bye now.